You saw that thumbnail, you saw the title, and you know what we're about to do. Welcome, everybody. It's almost the end of the year. I cannot believe 2023 is almost in our rearview mirror. How in the world did this happen? Anyway, this is Dear Woke Christian, and we're going to be doing our end of the year wrap up. And I'm hoping that you all are going to have a blessed time because we're going to have a lot of fun today. There's some comedians and some people in the studio. So let's go ahead and get them in. Let's go with no further ado. It's the good Dr. Kozar. Stephen Kozar is in the building. We got Joshua Roseborough from Fighting for the Faith in the building. He who has superior theology, Keith Foskey. All right, good to see you, sir, from Conversations with the Calvinists. And there goes my good brother from another, Mr. Rick Caldwell Apologetics. And there he goes, Kevin Briggins, all right, from Off Code Podcast. And guess what? This is the man that is actually responsible. If anybody has any problem with me on YouTube, anybody has any problems with me, if like when I say email management, this is management right here. It is Tim Frisch. Tim Frisch was the poor sap that let me get on his YouTube channel. And now, 2 years later, we're out here causing chaos. So good to see y'all. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Doing all right.
All right. Now, ladies have been invited, so don't say anything about us being sexist. Berean babe, send me in. You can jump in too. Come on. Come on, so we can offset this gender imbalance. But anyway, what is good, everybody? I just wanted to have a good time talking about 2023. Go ahead, Stephen.
I was just going to ask if we can have people's names on the screen. Is that an option?
Your name's not on the screen.
I don't see them anyway. Maybe they're on the thing that everyone else is watching on YouTube. No, they're not there. No name.
I don't see why. That's a great question. So we're gonna
Jason.
Reach out to producer Jason real quick. Producer Jason, fix this. I have no idea why it's not. I didn't realize it wasn't showing up. And I'm gonna play it off. Aha. Why is it not showing your names?
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please be patient as our experts are on the job working round the clock to ensure your personal satisfaction.
I don't know about all that, man.
It's not even that bad. We still have video and audio running, so
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like I can see your name, but it doesn't. Why is it not showing up?
Could it be because of how small we are? If you made somebody full screen, does their name show up?
Let's see that. Good question.
Nope.
No.
Bizarro.
All right, give me a second. I'll figure it out. We're going to just keep talking. We're going to keep rapping. Don't you worry about it. Because the people want to see. You know what, everybody? Drop your URLs in the chat, and the moderators will make sure that they're pinned up there. I don't know why it's not showing up, though.
I can just hold my oh, there's Tim.
But it doesn't say his name, though.
I know, but I keep, I was like, I'm going to hold my card up. I got just, like, here's my business
Good idea.
card.
We are highly sophisticated here.
Oh, yeah, we're top shelf here, man. We're top shelf here.
Can I zoom in?
Do this the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. My podcast name is changing too, so all of these are going to become useless in 2 days. So,
what are you changing it to?
You're Calvinist with Keith Foskey is the new name of the show going forward, because that's my Twitter handle, and that's the way a lot of people know who I am. So, going to be doing that.
Okay. I can see your names, but they don't populate, and I don't know where I did wrong. But I will figure it out while we're talking. So, 2023 is almost in the rearview mirror. Anybody want to talk about anything particular that's been going on their channel this year? Matter of fact, I got some great questions for y'all too, by the way. All right, let's go with this one. Briggins, I need to get you smiling anyway. Ready?
Okay, what you got?
Briggins, if your channel had a mascot in 2023, what would it be?
Ooh. Oh man. Dude, that's like left field. You gotta give me these questions ahead of time.
They've been on the on the calendar invite. Oh my gosh, what did he just go get?
I was getting my mascot. I got a bow tie and a cigar. That's my
there you
mascot
go.
right there.
I don't know. Come back to me. Let me think.
I got you. Rick Caldwell.
See
Rick
now,
Caldwell,
now
besides a BHI, what would be your mascot for this year?
I don't know. You're gonna have to come back to me on that one. I thought there were gonna be serious questions. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm sorry. You
Is
clearly didn't get the email.
Actually, mascot. I guess when you think of mascot, we're talking about animals, right? Typically.
What about a black and mild? Is this okay? I got a regular cigar.
I love it. I love it.
This is my Methodist cigar. This is what a Methodist, when he does it, he got a little bit of sugar in his tank. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Wow. Oh man. We done lost 19 Methodists off this live stream, man. Thanks, man. Way to go, man. Way to go.
Hey,
all right.
I'm working very hard to get invited to their national convention.
All right, let's get to a serious question because Rick Caldwell wants a serious question. All right, here we go. If you could invite 3 current figures to collaborate on a video, who would they be, and what would the video be about? Let's go.
I would like to do a video with my favorite YouTuber in the entire world, Chris Roseborough.
Oh, darn
He's too busy inviting everybody but me onto his show.
Hey, we can call management right now. We can talk to his management right now.
If anybody knows anything about this person, if anybody has any connection to Chris Roseborough, let him know that I miss doing shows with him like we used to do just a few years ago.
Bold of you to assume that I have the ability to wrangle him.
What's your name, young man?
What's your name, young man?
Are you associated with Chris Roseborough?
Oh.
No. I think that the topic that I would like to do a video with any number of people would be the topic of the gigantic explosion heard around the world in the charismatic world, and that is that of Mike Bickle. And how desperately that entire world is trying to act like it's not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. It's not an indictment on their entire movement, when that's exactly what I think it actually is. It's an indictment. If the guy at the very top of the whole thing, as high as you could possibly go in the movement, turns out to be a serial sexual predator for decades, what are we talking about here? So that's the topic. That's okay. More than a topic. That was a mini dialogue. Sorry, or monologue.
Not a problem.
So you want to have Bickle, or you want to talk about Bickle?
Oh, I don't want to come on my show. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, that would be interesting. That would be really interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Foskey? Okay, he's breaking up.
He's frozen.
He's frozen. His theology is superior.
But his internet connection is not.
There you go. Indeed, indeed. What you got, Tim? What about you?
Sorry, I was trying to still work on getting my my handle up there for the chat, but I do a lot of Bible translation videos, as you know. So I was thinking, you didn't it say 3 historical figures? So
three current figures, because we always do historical. But I wanted to hear, who would you like to talk to, right now? If you
I misread it.
If you could collaborate.
I misread it. I thought it was historical figures. So I actually was thinking about people that aren't alive. So I guess I'm disqualified.
That's a better topic.
Well, yeah, I mean, we usually do the unalive people. But I was like, hey, what about people that are alive today?
I already talked to people who are alive, so
you don't ever call me. I had to call you today, man.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm
gonna give you a pass. I'll give you a pass. Then who is it that who would you, even historical? Since you didn't follow instructions.
Well, what I was thinking with history was translators of the past, Richard Bancroft was the head of the KJV translation effort. So him with Jerome, who translated the Latin Vulgate, and then Arthur Farstad, who headed up the project for the New King James Version. So I was thinking if I could have all them on my channel, that'd be a pretty interesting conversation if they could all, actually understand each other. But That would be interesting as far as translation goes, because you're going back, 1,000, 1,500 years, and then you're going 500 years ago, and then closer to today.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. I love it. I love it. What you got, Roseboro?
Oh, who would I would get a historical figure? Kind of, it would be. I think it would be very interesting to get Jordan Peterson to actually give him the actual gospel. Facts. You know, and actually have a discussion about the because he's been kind of going on a tear about how Western civilization has only survived due to Judeo-Christian values and whatnot, and be like, let's talk more about that.
Right.
Have you heard about Jesus dying for your sins?
Right. What about it? What about societies being preserved by it? Like, what about that? Tell me more.
Well, okay. So the thing is that how do you have Western society constructed? You know, if you have a shared commonality when it comes to the word decided to leap out of my brain and jump out of a window. You can a shared morality. You have to have shared morality in order to be able to have a functional society, which is actually one of the reasons why today is seemingly getting worse and worse due to the fact that the West Coast versus the heartland, for everywhere you go is vastly different now. Which goes into I don't necessarily want to go into it, but the whole abortion thing, people I have to flee a state in order to get an abortion over in on one of the coastal states and whatnot, and that kind of difference in morality will actually inevitably pull a nation apart and destroy it from the inside out. But we were much better as a nation in many ways, not always, but in many ways when we had a shared morality.
Okay. I can dig it. I like it. What about you, Briggins?
Mine is kind of in the same line. But instead of Jordan Peterson, Douglas Murray, Constantine Piston from Trigonometry, and James Lindsay. These are all kind of three atheists / agnostics that have kind of come to the conclusion that Christianity is needed, but they have this wall that is up of, okay, how does that look? Because they still want to be secularist, but they acknowledge that we need Christianity. So instead of, let's come up with some happy medium between secularism and what some are calling Christian nationalism, right? And let's say, what does this look like for our laws and our culture and our society to be shaped by Christian values and ethics? Because let's take the alphabet community. They want to, a lot of times they will want to stop at the first three letters and leave the others off, but it's not based on anything. Like there's no foundation to that. There's no ethic or it's just saying that's a bridge too far, but based on what? And so if we're going to stick to something that has a foundation to it, then the LGB is also an issue, right? Because, and so that's kind of the discussion I would like to sit down and have, because I hear this conversation being had amongst atheists, but there's never like a sound theological Christian in the room to have that conversation with them. They're just having it with themselves. And that's the conversation I would like to have.
That's deep. I love it. I would love to sit down with Henry Rogers, Ibram X. Kendi, Dr. Umar Johnson, and Jamar Tisby, all three or individually three. I would love to sit down with them because I just feel like, again, their understanding of the gospel has been articulated. Their understanding of the gospel is extremely anemic, and therefore any solutions that they would seek to have in society are going to be problematic because they don't come from a foundation that's built on Christ. It's from, I don't know where they are. So yeah, that would be mine. And I would throw in Robin DiAngelo just for the laughs and giggles. I would love to meet any of them.
Welcome to the war room.
Right. I mean, again, I'd sit down with all four of them at the same time. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
I would pay to see it. So,
Trust me, I would love it. What about Mr. Good Old Foskey in the building? He's
Am I back now? Can I?
you back?
Oh, yeah.
You back, man? You out of the sin bin? Absolutely.
I want to do a neighbor. That's my desire.
We're gonna. You have broke down again.
That devolved
My
rapidly.
answer was that bad.
It was, man. Your answer was, man. Try it again.
Oh, I said I want to have I want to do a show with Nate Bargatze and the Pope. That's my answer.
Wow. Whoa.
I mean, you said anybody.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
love
No,
it.
no.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I don't think. I mean, I think I'd have to have a translator for the Pope, so that'd be my third person, right? So I have to have like 3 people. One be the translator, and Nate Bargatze is hilarious. He's clean. I don't know if he's a Christian. He's just a clean comedian that I like. I think he'd be hilarious. And I would just like to talk to the Pope. That was all.
Okay. I love it.
I mean, you guys are wanting to share the gospel with other people. I want to share the gospel with the Pope. I figured
because he needs the gospel for sure, no question about it.
Now listen, Pontiff, I want to talk to you about Jesus.
Right? Have you met him?
Listen up, pointy hat guy.
What about you, Mr. Caldwell? What about you? Who
All
are
right.
you collaborating with? Now you can
got
collaborate or just meet with. It don't matter anymore.
So I have my 3 different topics. First, I have Owen Strawn on biblical manhood, because this is an area there's a lot of people in social media talking about what it means to be a man, but a lot of times that conversation is not grounded from the scriptures. We need a biblical conversation about manhood, and manhood is not a toxic thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think he's done a lot of good work on that front. I think, even with some of the things he's been doing recently in the social media space, I just want to get his ear. Got a ton of questions. I think it'd be a great conversation. Also, I had an opportunity to meet with him at the last G3 conference. And so that's definitely, considering the trajectory of my channel, definitely something that I would want to tackle. Next person is Virgil Walker as well. And the reason why I would love to have a conversation with Virgil Walker is in light of some of the recent content I've had in my channel around Carlton Pearson. And so I know that from his past, he was in the Pentecostal movement, right? He actually used to go to Carlton Pearson's church in the past, hard to mention. So I would love to have a candid conversation with Virgil about the history of the Pentecostal movement. I think there's a lot of things there. There's a lot of issues that need to be unpacked. I think he would be a great guy, considering that he's now reformed. That whole trajectory, and he came from that background. It'd be a wonderful conversation. The last, not least, is I would love to have a conversation with Mike Riccardi in regards to his view on reform and dispensational thought, because he's kind of like a hybrid. Mike Riccardi. So I would love to. I listened to a podcast about a month or so ago where he was talking about kind of his theological perspective and his view of eschatology. And one of the things I thought I was really intrigued about was the fact that he was talking about how there's a lot to be gained from both camps. And I would love to have like a real conversation about those issues. So Mike Riccardi would be number 3 on the list. Those are my 3.
Wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know what? And I apologize. I have no earthly clue why I can't populate your names.
Yeah.
So real quick, can you just introduce yourself and your channels? The moderators fantastically have been dropping your URLs in the link so that everybody can check those out. But if you could just go ahead and just kind of introduce, people might not know why they want to check out Kozar, or who in the world is Keith Foskey. So if you could just real quick, just tell us who you are. That might be your selling pitch. So Kozar, sell us on why we need to know who you are. Let's go.
You don't need to know who I am, actually. So there. Next. No, I'm Steve Kozar. I'm first and foremost a realist painter, an artist.
Fantastic.
Who has turned into a theology blog maker, video guy, and my YouTube channel is called The Messed Up Church, and that's also the name of the website that I built a little while ago. And I tend to focus on issues of the charismatic movement and the megachurch world and the incredibly shallow world of current pop evangelicalism. And I make videos that grab people's attention, hopefully enough so that they want to learn more and not just gawk at the accident at the side of the road, but learn what caused the accident so that they can have a better grasp on church history and theology and the Bible itself and all that sort of thing.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. What about you, Mr. Joshua Roseborough? Last name sounds familiar.
I am the behind the scenes man, the one working all the crazy levers and dials behind the curtain for Pirate Christian Radio, or Fighting for the Faith as we are on YouTube. So my father's the one that does all of the majority of the dumpster diving into heresy and whatnot. And I'm kind of his front man, if you will. I'm just kind of running around crazy, posting links and doing all sorts of stuff, going, look at all the crazy, weird stuff we're doing here. We try to take on the biggest names in charismania, or the visible church that are very clearly fleecing the flock for all their worth, and trying to do it in a very educational but also very entertaining way. Us Lutherans are known for our snark, and we do not hold back in that regard at all. I'm also
way.
I know it's so scandalous. I'm also the guy that does the weird animations, and I do voice acting work. And if you've ever seen our homage to Strong Bad from Homestar Runner, under the character who's just so uniquely named Strong Bird, that's my creation.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Joshua. Tim Frisch, from a Frisch perspective, tell us.
There it is.
I'm trying to figure it out, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. All right. But why do we want it? What is a Frisch perspective? What is it?
Well, anybody who's watched your channel probably knows who I am, because we've done so much together.
We have. It's your fault.
That's right. Yeah. You're blaming me for your presence here on YouTube. I named my channel after myself because my last name Frisch means fresh in German. So it's actually there you go. There's my last name there. It's Tim Frisch, and Frisch means fresh in German, so it's a fresh perspective, play on words there, given my own perspective on things. And I always say I give analysis and reviews from a Christian nerd's point of view. So I'm going to try to present things from a Christian perspective, but has a little bit of a nerdy edge to it. And I try to get into different topics. I also have been doing a lot of interviews this past year, and really enjoy talking with different people, even different authors, and enjoy those live interviews. And then I do a lot of Bible reviews as well, and talk a lot about Bible translation. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what I'm up to.
I love it. Thank you, sir. Brother Briggins, now that I know who you are, since we're already in the midst of it, let's go ahead. Tell us who you are and why we need to check you out.
Yeah, so I'm Kevin Briggins. I am co-host of the Off Code podcast, which is a podcast that deals with issues related to the Black community, but we discuss these things through a biblical worldview. I love it. And on top of the podcast, this podcast falls under the ministry of the Center for Biblical Unity. Mm-hmm. And under that umbrella, we do a lot of different kind of content. There's articles, there's curriculum. So basically we help churches. What the Center for Biblical Unity overall does is help Christians and churches deal with tough cultural issues, from a biblical perspective, mainly dealing with issues over race and unity and worldview. And so we have a curriculum called Reconcile that people can buy and go through, which is a biblical model for unity within the body of Christ versus a lot of the racial reconciliation models that are out there. And we do speaking engagements, we do conferences, we go to schools, we go to churches, you name it, we'll go there and speak and do seminars and lessons and help Christians really walk through some of these really, really tough cultural issues and things that they're facing. So
I love it. And if I'm not mistaken, you're going to be on Dear Woke Christian tomorrow as we talk about some spicy topics some
Yes.
zesty conversations, Christians and ex-Christians from the Jubilee Project.
Yep.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Foskey, Rick. Which one's going to go next? Foskey's on mute, so Rick is on mute. Which one? Rick, rock,
I'm
paper,
on mute.
scissors.
How about that? That
Get
would
it.
be a deciding factor.
Go ahead, Rick.
Rick Caldwell with Caldwell Apologetics. It's a apologetics ministry that believes in the sufficiency of Scripture and sovereign grace. So it's sovereign grace content. I have a little warning up there. If you don't like sovereign grace, this is not the channel for you. So it's about what God does, His work in salvation and relate to the gospel, but also making it relatable to every aspect of life. As we proclaim the truth of the gospel, also dealing with the fact that there is error in the world, there are contenders against the Christian faith, and how do we address those contenders undergirded with a biblical worldview? And so it's sovereign grace, it's presuppositional, and it's apologetic. And it's unapologetically biblical. So that's essentially what the channel is. And we tackle a lot of issues, mainly around false belief systems. Some belief systems a lot of individuals don't tackle. So I deal with things like, Black Hebrew Israelites, and starting to delve into more of things like the New Thought movement and a lot of things of that nature. So I'm really excited about what the Lord has in store for us going into 2024.
I love it. All right, Dr. Foskey, the
Yes.
good reverend. All right, besides having superior theology, tell us what your channel's about.
Well, I have a combination of funny and serious. Most people find me for the denominational humor that I do. I started a series about a year ago called the Denominational Meetings, where I play the different parts of different denominations and make fun of each peculiarity. Presbyterians, like my dear brother Jason, often consider themselves to be somewhat superior. So you guys are labeled with the hashtag superior theology. We'll be starting our conversations with Calvinists. Have been going for a few years, but we're updating the name in the new year. It's going to be Your Calvinist with Keith Foskey. Striving for superior theology and denominational unity, one joke at a time, is what we're going to be doing, and that's the focus. And I want to change my answer from earlier, from the Pope. If I legitimately could do any show, and maybe somebody can help make this happen, I want to get Sam Renahan and Stephen Wellham to come on and discuss the distinctions between 1689 federalism and progressive covenantalism. So I consider myself a progressive covenantalist, so I fall more in the Wellham camp. But I'm friends with a lot of 1689 Baptists and would love to hear the distinctions expressed by two men who are experts in the field.
Wow.
And then I could tell them why they're both wrong.
Yeah, no difficult topic there at all. No, that's going to be easy. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me say something real quick about that. I did not realize he was progressive covenantalism.
Yeah.
We have to speak English on this. We have to speak English on this live stream
every day, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to say New Covenant theology, back with the Zaspel days, but that has been put aside now. Progressive covenantalism is the new moniker, and I think a more thoughtful and scholarly expression of that system.
Let me ask you a quick. I just one thing. You're the one that had the interview with David H. Gay?
Nope.
Yeah, okay, I remember that now. All right, we got to talk at some point.
All right. Sure.
I'll share his information. Is that okay, Keith?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll give you Rick. I'll give you his information.
Oh, by the way, my thing says Pope in waiting. If I did become I would take the office. If they offered me the office of Pope, I would take it. Then I would disband it and would no longer have a Pope. So, but I would keep the Pope mobile. I would make that part of the deal. I'd have to keep the car.
Would you trick it out with some sick rims?
No, but I would blast Weird Al Yankovic from the speakers. That's my favorite
right.
musician.
There we go. All right.
Well, there you go then. We approve of this message. We approve. Hey, man, what in the world? Rob Wilson is in the building. What's happening, friend? How are you?
I'm good. I'm still trying to get lined up with this StreamYard thing. And good evening, everyone. Just trying to.
All you got to do is just tell us who you are. That's all you got to do.
I'm Rob Wilson. I got the channel The Love Agenda, and I'm a factory man and a disciple-making disciple of Jesus Christ. That's what it's all about.
There we go. I love it. Now, since you happen to be tardy to the party, then you're gonna have to answer the next question, Mr. Wilson. Here's the question: looking back over your content strategy for 2023, what's one thing that you would do differently to boost your engagement on your channel?
I'm hoping you guys could tell me that.
Okay, I'm gonna start off. I will say, I wish I had used the shorts feature to answer comments more. I did that several times. I went hard in the paint for like a month, and then I just kind of stopped doing it. So I would engage with comments. I engage with all my comments. So I'm going to comment. That's going to happen. But I would have used the shorts feature where you can actually like make a short video to reply back to a comment. I would use that more. That would be something.
I think that's a great idea. I don't mean to jump in, but I think I'm going to start doing that. That's a good idea, Jason. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, no problem, friend.
One thing I found that was effective that I think I can do more in 2024 is I polled my audience about topics that involve them that actually maybe symptoms that the demon slayers say are demons, anger, stress, different things. And then I tried to bring answers from a biblical perspective about the issues of life. And that has been highly popular. And again, you can be termed a heresy hunter when you're not. You're really just wanting to contend for the faith. So I think in 2024, polling the audience and seeing what their concerns are, what would be a benefit to them, since we don't have omniscience, would be a good thing.
Even though the chat is saying that you look like you're coming from a galaxy far, far away, so they actually believe that you do have some level of omniscience. So no, I like that. That's a good one.
I can change that.
Anybody else want to jump in on something that maybe you would do? It could work. It could have worked, or something that you just don't do at all.
I mean, one thing that there was a little bit of retooling behind the scenes at Pirate this year, later in the year. I don't know if you noticed, but the frequency and the of our uploads has gone up, and the consistency has become far stronger. And that's honestly one of the things that drives YouTube channel growth is consistency. Like even if it's a small thing, even if it's only 10 or 15 minutes long, having a schedule for yourself, nothing that you necessarily need to tell the audience that we're going to upload on these days, but having something coming out every week makes a big difference. And we made that change, and it's been good. And we figured out how to work at a more human pace. At least my father has. Me as the editor, no, I'm done for. I'm so buried. It's not even funny.
Right. No, I like that. That's good stuff. Kozar, we didn't mention it, man. You are coming from a newly refined underground bunker, the Kozar Central. What would you do? What would you do differently besides showing people your artwork more frequently? Let me just say that. But what would you do?
The funny thing is, I was never a computer guy. I was never a technology guy. I'm a painter. Mm-hmm. I use a wooden stick with hair glued to one end, otherwise known as a paintbrush. So I'm really slow to adopt to new ideas. And so the idea of shorts is something I probably should have been doing all along. The idea of answering people's questions or asking them for questions and then answering more frequently. We do have a Patreon page. I'm super thankful for our patrons, but I wish I was more engaged with them. I also failed to mention when I was describing my channel that I'm just a slightly different, maybe better, maybe worse version of Pirate Christian Media, depending on who you might talk to, because Chris Roseborough is a big influence, and he's the guy that shared his platform with me in the past. And so I'm just building off of some of the things that Josh and his dad have been doing for years now. So I'm really thankful for them. And one of the things that I'm not doing and this is what Chris Roseborough does really well, is talking off the cuff and making a video. Now, Josh does go in there and edit it afterwards, but you don't have to cut up a whole bunch of stuff and piece it together. And the only time that I really do that is the videos I make with my wife, which is the hit the bar videos, where we just sit and this is the new studio here. We're going to have the two of us in these two chairs here, and the chair I'm sitting in now is where our dogs will sit, and we'll hopefully be doing those really soon. And those videos, we just talk off the cuff, and people really like that. But almost all of my other videos are very, very labor intensive, and they just take hours and hours and hours of work. And I need to get better at not doing that quite as much. I need to get better at doing things a little more spontaneously, a little more off the cuff. And just like Josh was saying, I would be better off making more videos more frequently.
I like it. Okay. No, appreciate it, man. Which one? Mr. Tim, what you got, brother?
You know, I don't really know how to answer for 2023. I'm thinking though about just overall with my channel over the years, and probably I would have to go back further if I were going to do it differently. No. And just really kind of like, for example, doing reviews is great, but maybe have a channel that's just focused on reviews and another channel that's focused on a certain topic. So being more topic specific maybe than I tend to be. I kind of cover a variety of things, and so I think that can be hard with the algorithm, building your user base, because the algorithm is trying to figure out which category to put you in, sure, and who's going to watch your videos. So, but that being said, you know, I do have good user engagement. Sometimes we probably all can relate to this. It's sometimes the engagement is more combative in a way than I'm looking for, but that's okay. I mean, I do appreciate people commenting, and I do enjoy the discussions on YouTube.
I'm gonna give you a name real quick. A Frisch Review. You're welcome. You're welcome.
A Frisch Review.
There you go. A Frisch Reaction. There you go. A subsidiary of Frisch Perspective.
Frisch Revelation.
Oh no!
but then Rob is going to come after you.
Then Steve Kozar is going to have me on his channel,
right?
Hitting the button every time or hitting the space bar every time I have a Frisch Revelation.
Watch out! We probably say bingo might get you too. Who knows?
Absolutely. What about you? Did you go, Rick? I'm sorry.
Oh no. I'm just having so much fun listening to all these wonderful suggestions. I think one of the things that wish I had focused more emphasis on is thumbnails. That always help. I mean, that's the main draw, right? I mean, your thumbnails, the draw that kind of pulls them in. And then kind of a second that I've noticed that's been really helpful is since I do review a lot of questionable theological content out there, sometimes it's good to maybe have maybe a 30-second to a minute kind of trailer to kind of create anticipation, excitement about the content, especially for longer form videos, right? So I think those two things, and those are things not that I'm just saying that would be great to do. Those are things I've started to implement, and I've noticed a difference in engagement. So I want to continue to do that going into 2024.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right, let's keep that. And by the way, if you're wondering about these questions I'm asking, they're actually in the description of this video. So if you're interested in the questions we're asking, I just posted them in there. I felt like give them a kind of a headshot on it. Yeah, I mean, so you know. So I'm gonna jump to the fourth one, which is share a challenge. Share a challenge you face in terms of audience engagement, Rob, this year, and how you overcame it or how you plan to overcome it.
Hold on now. I'm going to read it first. What is the? Is this number 4? Are you sure that's number 4?
I might not have numbered it correctly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, sorry.
Say it again, bro.
It's on the screen.
Well, here's the thing. The question you asked about.
It might not be numbered correctly. You're right. You know what? Because I took the numbers off, so the numbers would not be on the screen when I did it. That's right. So they're numbered in the description, but they're not numbered on here. So they might not be 4. So anyway.
I just want to ensure that what I'm trying to say is presented in a clear and direct fashion. And what I'm going to do to increase audience engagement, the not only those who agree but the naysayers is try to not cut anybody's ears off so that I can get them to hear.
I think
if you
I think
follow
not
me.
assaulting people is good. Yeah, I do agree with that as well.
Well, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I know
Sometimes
what you mean.
you can people who are already set on not hearing what you say, we can tend to close their ears off even more, if that makes any
Okay.
sense.
No, it makes perfect
So
sense.
I'm gonna look at ways to present my content in a more clarifying way.
I like it.
That answers.
Entreating, I think, would be a good way of saying, like, draw them in. Is that fair?
Yeah, I want to engage the audience that doesn't
There we go.
agree more.
There
So
you go.
that's what I want to do. So they'll hear. So they already don't have ears to hear. I don't want to increase the inability to get the message.
No, I got you. I totally got you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Best
Go ahead.
Beth, just to cut in real fast. Best method to capture the ears of people who don't agree with you. It's shorts. It's YouTube Shorts. That's where all of the hate comments are coming from right now for Pirate. And it's like, aha, we're reaching the ears of people who don't agree with us. Excellent.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, there you go, Rob. Shorts it is.
Oh, I've had
Shorts.
no problem reaching their ears. They just come back. You know,
Ah.
like some people I say have this saying. You know, some people don't have ears to hear. Where their ears are, they have switchblade knives and 9mm.
Oh
They
my.
have ears to argue. But I would want the message to get from their ear to their heart, so that
Mhm.
you know. I captured the attention of Alexander Pagani. I've been one of his favorite channels. I think he's subscribed. So
Wow.
I want him to hear the message, and that it's not done in
Mhm.
hatred, but it's done in love. You
No,
know?
absolutely. Sorry, cutting in again. The
ahead.
story that we hear the most over at Pirate is people who are like, been listening for a couple of years, like, man, when I started listening to you, I hated everything you were saying. You're just the biggest meanie poopy head on the internet. And then you challenged me to prove you wrong with the
Mhm.
Bible. So I said, fine, I'll do that. And I went to the Bible and I started reading and I was like, oh, crud, oh no, you might be right. Oh
Mm.
no.
Man,
And then a while later they go, so yeah, thank you for making this
Yeah.
content. I'm actually part of a good church body now. I'm hearing the gospel every weekend, and thank you, even though you made me really mad at the beginning.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Are you
those are
out there-
messages that really pay off. I mean, I had somebody tell me that I hated your videos. I hated your channel. I kept watching it. And then they came out of false doctrine. I'm like, wow, that's the ones that really count.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's some good stuff. Rick, Tim, anybody want to jump in? Keith? A means of engagement.
I say is somewhat related to a lot of the great comments that have already been said so far, is that I think Rob, and maybe to some of us to some degree, get this. You know, I get a lot of, I know we share this from time to time, Jason, a lot of interesting and kind of eclectic type of individuals who come to the channel. And part of the challenge for me is kind of wading through the noise.
Yep.
And really finding legitimate questions, right? Like I stress the word legitimate, because sometimes people just want to vent, and okay, great for the algorithm, but that doesn't mean we have to respond to everything. But then through that, there are legitimate questions. And so I think part of the challenge sometimes is when you have the deluge of just kind of ridiculous comments, kind of wading through all of that to get to the legitimate ones that can actually be merit a good response. So kind of the challenge for me is like spending more time, which is time typically I don't have, to go through all of that and try to find more legitimate content to respond to.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of a bit of a challenge. I don't know if anybody on this panel has any recommendations about how to tackle that. I would love to hear that.
Well, I comment on every one of my comments. So that's been a problem of mine from the beginning. But I think just if you make it a habit of at least just going through and just kind of checking each one when you have time, I wouldn't say like you need to take hours upon hours of a day. However, if you just make time and say, I'm going to go through and check all these comments that I'm getting today. And again, find those good ones, maybe set them aside, maybe do a quick short replying to them, whatnot like that. But I think that'll be a good way. And then also just boost engagement, because if you had 10 comments and then you comment back, now you got 20. So it's just that kind of stuff like that that would help. But I would maybe look at shorts or just set them aside. And if you could even, you really can't, but maybe like just leave it unaddressed so that you can come back through the studio and then come back and address those specific questions. That would be a way to look at it.
Well, you mentioned answering all the comments, Jason. I'm I don't do that. I do go in. I typically like all the people. I put a heart
like and
on
yeah,
them.
absolutely.
But what I have been doing is legitimate questions. I've actually turned them into podcast episodes where I just answer audience questions, and those have been some of the most listened to or watched YouTube videos. Is when I say, okay, here's 6 questions I got from like I did a video on Israel and the church and the relationship of Israel and the church. Well, that spawned a bunch of other questions, so I did a video on that. So I find that's helpful, and that's why I like the idea of the shorts. I hadn't thought about just doing short videos answering questions, because some of them could be answered in less than a minute. And that's the only thing with YouTube Shorts, right? It has to be 59 seconds or less.
Right.
And that's the tough part for me. Like I go through and I look at the waveform and I cut out every breath. I cut out every single space to knock it down to 59 seconds, just so I can upload to YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels. And on TikTok TikTok doesn't have that limitation. I do have a TikTok channel, but the TikTok people don't want to watch longer than a minute, 2 minutes. A 5, 6, 10-minute video on TikTok doesn't do well. So at least for me. So breaking it down to a minute is good.
No. And I think another thing is I don't get bogged down in, if somebody asks a question, I don't get bogged down in giving them a long, lengthy answer, because if they don't come back and read it, I'm going to be really sad in my soul that I wrote this long response. And Rick, I already don't mess with long comments anyway. That joint's going to go through Chat GPT, so just know that. But, oh, by the way, you can do that. You can take Chat GPT and ask it to summarize a long comment and actually ask it to write a reply. I'm not saying I've done it. I just can't deny that I have. But if somebody writes a long comment, I'm going to give them a short reply back, because I don't want to spend a lot of time writing back and then they never reply back, that would just be, that's the worst. So to me, you'll find a good rhythm, but if you have a good question, I'm gonna reply to it. But like Keith has just pointed out here, I might start doing shorts to do that more frequently. That's just my little thought process there.
Okay, I have a thought that's related to what you guys were just talking about.
Thought on, let's go.
And it actually is demonstrated by an email I just got. Because I have a website, there's a contact page, so people can comment on a video, or they can send me an email through my website. And this person said, you should do a video on Kevin Zadai.
Mm-hmm.
He's really bad. He's really popular, and my friends listen to him. And so I already have done videos on Kevin Zadai, and I have on my channel a whole playlist of videos from me and other people about Kevin Zadai. So the fundamental problem, and my YouTube channel has gotten pretty big. We got 60-some thousand subscribers now. So there's a lot of comments, and I can't respond to everybody. And what I'm trying to do is constantly remind people, don't ask me to directly answer your questions. You need to find these things out for yourselves. And here's a bunch of resources. Here are the channels that I recommend. Here are the playlists that I've already put together for you. Here's an entire website I built with more and more resources available there. And it's not like I'm unwilling to answer. I just know that if you want to have a successful YouTube channel, and everybody does, you want to, you're here for a reason. You're doing this because you think you have something to say that's going to really help people. And that means you want it to grow. There's going to come a point where you can't answer everybody's question all the time. You can't respond directly. So this is the fundamental, it's like a paradoxical thing with YouTube. We're trying to grab their attention. We're trying to use humor. We're trying to, put a really good thumbnail that's got something that really grabs them. And in that split second, we hope that they just click on our video. And then we're like, wow, these people are, they have such short attention spans. Well, the whole system kind of is geared for short attention spans. And yet what we really want is for people to be thinking deeply about really important issues. And we want them to be self-learners to an extent. We want them to take advantage of all the resources that are out there. It's like this jumbled up series of things. And, if you have a YouTube channel that says, I'm going to make really good videos on really important topics about God and the Bible and church, and you should really watch these because you'll learn a lot. You'll have a very small channel with very small number of viewers. But if you say, this new thing that's happening is from Satan himself, you can't believe what I'm going to show you, you'll get 1 million views. So we got to somehow find the happy middle where we still do get enough views that it's worth our while and everything, but we're not, driving by the scene of an accident, because that's what YouTube is. It's driving by the scene of an accident. Everybody wants to see the crash. Everybody wants to see the blood spewing everywhere.
Oh,
Koza, you're not
absolutely.
You're not jaded at all.
No, you're not jaded in the least bit.
And especially in this world of so-called heresy hunters, this is one of my pet peeves. You want to get a lot of views, have a channel where you just regurgitate the same stuff that's been regurgitated.
So what you're saying is, all for 1 million views, all I got to do is start blaming everything on Satan. That's all I got to do.
Or Joel Osteen. It's pretty much the same thing.
I do a really good Joel Osteen. I can do a pretty good impression, so I can make that happen.
I don't know. David Lovey might have you beat there.
Oh, that's right. A mad rush to the bottom of the barrel. But whatever you do, as soon as Rob Wilson gets on your tail, then you know you're doing it right. So just make sure Rob Wilson jumps on your tail and you know you're right. I love it. All right. Real quick. I actually do have a serious question, by the way, but this is not it. This is a little bit more reflective. If you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice about YouTube analytics or YouTube in general, before starting 2023, what would it be? Mine would be thumbnails and titles. Like, focus on thumbnails and titles, Jason. Going into the new year, focus on thumbnails and titles.
I commit artistic terrorism with my
yes,
thumbnails.
You do. Yes, you do. There's no lie detected there. There's a truth there for sure.
Okay, I'm looking up your page now just so I can see.
Oh, no, they're terrible. They're terrible, man.
They're insulting.
No donations, no rapture. That's the...
I had so much fun creating a Monty Python-esque animation for that video. That was great.
A brief reality check about the chosen. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at your top.
That's fine.
The For You channel. Sorry,
that's fine.
So Chris is your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The thumbnail cliche is, well, here, I'll just see if I can do it on the screen.
Something. Yeah.
Right.
you got to have somebody screaming, and then you have to have like a red circle around absolutely nothing that's important.
And then an arrow pointing to a blurry spot.
Right.
That's a good idea. Blurry spot. Love it.
Hello, Gaussian blur. We meet again.
Getting so many ideas. It's going to be a blurry spot, and it says Satan is here. That's right.
No, you have to put Satan ?
Yeah.
Yes,
that's it. Right.
Satan is the blurry spot.
This is evil. And then you have a blurry spot with an arrow pointing to it. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. That's if you just scroll through YouTube and type in false teachers or false teaching or heresy in the church or some really general topic, you'll find all the channels that do that. And
you gotta
it's
watch
not like what they're saying in those videos is all wrong and bad. It's just they just keep regurgitating the same stuff over and over again.
Gotta love clickbaitery.
Yeah.
There's a fine line in clickbaitery.
Right.
There's a fine line. But no, I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so one thing that I've noticed, at least for men such as ourselves, is that we are definitely.
Sorry. I can't help it.
What did he say?
Are we men? I mean, I am. Last I checked, I can't speak for you, I guess, but you know. No. Here's the deal: is that we as men who are proclaiming the truth, we are playing life on hard mode, when it comes to YouTube. Yes,
Facts.
there are people out there that will very easily say, "Oh goodness, did you hear that the Lord is doing a new thing this season? There's going to be a suddenly and a shifting in the atmosphere," and they get 100,000 followers plus, and then they get all these likes and all these views and stuff like that, and you're sitting there going, "How? Why?" So here's the deal. When Satan tempted Jesus in the wilderness, he said, "Bow before me and I'll give you the kingdoms of the earth." Do you think that was only for Jesus? No, that was literally anybody reading the book going, "Hey, if I follow Satan and I worship him or whatever, or I proclaim to follow a false god and worshiping Satan, then yeah, you're gonna have riches. They're gonna be blessed by the devil for their efforts in destroying the flock of God." So. Just because you may not be ultra successful doesn't mean that what you're doing is not important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all got to be reminded of that on a regular basis.
I'm sorry for throwing that up there. Jason just posted
what
it.
is this shenanigans?
Well, you mentioned thumbnails and making a funny face. Well, that's literally my last thumbnail. That's the one I posted yesterday. So I guess you were right. Making the funny face next to Hulk Hogan and the Pope. That's the way to do it.
Okay, I can.
All right,
dig
you
it. I can dig it.
you can take it down now. Okay.
All right. I appreciate it. No, that's some good insight, guys. What would you do differently, or what would you tell yourself, Tim Frisch, before you entered into 2023? What would you have told yourself?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not able to answer these questions very well. You guys have really good insights here. I think that my general thoughts from doing YouTube that I've just learned and I try to do is just do what I really am passionate about, and that meets a need in the audience. Because if you're not passionate about it, you burn out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not meeting a need, then people aren't going to watch it.
Absolutely.
And when you can intersect your passion with meeting a need that's out there, then that's really to me what it gives longevity to what we're doing. And that's not rocket science or anything really insightful, but that's just kind of the thing that's kept me going at this point.
No, I like it. We got Nick is in the building from Bible Dingers, has popped in. All right, good to see you, Nick. How are you, man?
Fam? What's up, man? I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of my bedroom. I'm like, I can't miss this. I got to hop in. I got to say what's up to everybody.
It's good to hear you. While you get settled in real quick, Tim, I want to agree with you. I when I was talking to Rick earlier on, I always say do content that you're comfortable talking about 6 weeks from now. Because if you do something and you're just trying to chase a trend because everybody's talking about it today, but in March, somebody comes up and says, or it starts going hot and you get all these comments and all this feedback, and you really didn't want to talk about it anyway, you're going to hate it. That's why I don't talk about politics much, because I don't really care. And the bad thing is I did one video on Vivek Ramaswamy, and I couldn't pronounce his name. I literally violated what I'm saying because I pronounced his name wrong, and literally 95% of the comments were all trying to tell me how to pronounce his name wrong. Right. And I'm like, literally,
that's a good strategy for engagement, though.
No, it was a bad strategy
wrong.
because I did not want to talk about it. And I literally did a follow-up video because I got on the phone with somebody and they explained it to me. We're going through phonetically as if I'd never been to college before, explaining this, and did a video explaining it. And literally nobody heard anything except the fact that I was calling him like Vivek Rasputin or something. It was really bad. It was terrible. I really did butcher the man's name. It was horrible, but I wasn't really interested in it. I was just trying to do it because he did something I thought was kind of neat. He went to Chicago, was getting a haircut, and I said, I'm going to do it. I had no business doing that video. No business whatsoever.
All right, quick, just so that nobody in the comments afterwards says, "Oh my gosh, you mispronounced it again."
Oh my gosh, no.
I challenge everyone in the live chat right now to, without Googling it, please spell Vivek Ramaswamy and try to get it right. If you can't get it right, do not send your angry comments to Jason.
Or you can send them to Tim Frisch because he is management. All right. Nick is in the building. All right.
What's
Nick,
up?
it is good to see you, man, from Bible Dingers has shown up. How are you, man?
Good. I'm doing well. It's good to be here. Thanks for the invite, man.
Hey, no problem, man. Glad to have you, man.
And great to meet all of you.
Well, good. Well, man, you missed a lot of the questions, so you're actually going to get like lightning round questions. Everybody's going to just start bulleting you questions left and right.
Cool with
It's all good. So, tell us a little bit about Bible Dingers. Tell us who you are, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so Bible Dingers has been in existence about 4.5 years. We originated as an audio-only podcast, walking through each and every book of the Bible, specifically talking about historical context. And then once we were done with the Bible, me and two other guys, their names Mark and Ryan, and I'm Nick, we sat down and said, man, we got to do something because YouTube is where it's at. That's where everybody is going. And so we decided to go on video and try something new. So now maybe moving into February, as some know, we are trying to build a studio. We're going to start the Bible from Genesis on and finish the whole thing again on video format now. And while we're at it, we're doing some debates that people seem to be enjoying. And we're trying to bridge the gap and encourage Christians to talk not just talk about each other, but to talk with each other, especially when it comes to secondary theological things. So that's Bible Dingers.
I love it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no
Well,
problem.
I'm going to talk about you, and I'm going to ask you to answer this question.
All right.
All right. If your channel was a movie genre, which one would it be? And what role would you play? Who would play the lead role?
I would say comedic narrative. I don't even know.
Bro, they're making them up all the time. So we can take comedic narrative. I like that. Okay. Go ahead.
Comedic historical narrative, maybe.
This dude, you just adding stuff to it.
The funny part about us is that we try to be serious, but we also try to be lighthearted. So that's a little rough. Genres are usually one way or the other.
Sure.
You know, you watch a horror film, it's a horror movie all the way through. You know, so we're a little different. We got to create our own genre.
Horror comedies definitely exist. Shaun of the Dead is a great example.
Oh yeah, but that's not a real horror, is it? I never saw that one.
Have you ever seen Joshua's thumbnails? Joshua's thumbnails.
I'm sitting next to a Gremlins poster. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
I see it.
Gremlins is horror comedy, man. Joe Dante.
Yeah, but that was not really horror. It's not like I'm generally scared. Like if I'm watching a horror movie, I'm generally scared. You know?
It's Christmas horror comedy, which is awesome. That crosses all the lines. It's a Christmas movie. It's a somewhat horror movie. It's a comedy. It's the best.
There you go.
What's happening to me?
Double thumbs, brother. If you put 2 thumbs up, the new iOS.
It does it for you?
Yeah, it does like reactions.
What happens if I put up another? What if I do my nose?
If you do 2 thumbs down, it'll rain on you. Like,
wait, that's happening here? Hold up.
Yes, it's happening in real time.
It's not happening to me.
Wait, make sure your camera can.
You got to have Mac OS, and you also have to have the reactions turned on.
Okay, wait. Okay, so this is a good question.
Right
Okay, this is a good question. So try it again, Nick, because I was wondering if it would work.
Nah.
Okay, so I guess it is.
It doesn't work for people without an actual setup. I'm in my bedroom right now, so you gotta be sitting in a nice fancy room like that with all those posters in it.
This is my studio, my movie studio.
Or you have to be in another galaxy.
Far away.
Far away.
Rob, do it. Let me see. Do thumbs up.
Talking
Rob.
straight from the gates of heaven, bro.
It's not. It's disparaging.
That was the most.
I don't know how to turn reactions on.
He literally went.
Yeah, he was not committed. He wasn't committed.
No, he just Scrooge thumbs up. He's like,
"That's right. That's right." Yeah.
Who, me?
We're just picking, man. We have nothing.
Oh, his background's moving though. Rob's background.
His background is alive. Yeah, it's
I'm in outer space.
Yeah.
I have 3 Star Wars posters here. Hold on. There's one of the original Star Wars.
But can you make the move though? That's the question.
Right. See.
No.
Here, let me just take it off. Let me take mine off the wall and shake it around a little bit.
Right.
I did take down my Princess Leia poster though. I thought it was a little risque.
All right. Well, we appreciate that.
Was it episode 6, Leia?
Yeah, it was. She was in the bikini, and I replaced it with
this thing has gone off the rails.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you guys are setting me up for
I'm
jokes that
Yeah, we set you up.
his audience might not be able to handle.
You need to come on my show.
There you
Oh,
go.
there we go. There we go.
Hey, your name's Keith, right?
Yes.
Listen, I've been following you for a while, bro. Make it happen.
All right. Send me. I need everybody's message anyway. I know I've been on Tim's show. In fact, that's where I met Jason. I didn't know Chris Roseborough procreated, so there I met his son tonight. So that's cool.
In the
A while
private
ago.
chat, just put all your details in the private chat, everybody.
okay.
On the right. Just
You
put
need
your
my
details in the private
sizes. You need my measurements.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Ring
30,
size, the whole nine, man. We're gonna make this thing official.
56.
I'm just trying to make Tim laugh. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So originally the question was, what genre?
Right.
What
I have no
genre
idea
am
where we
I?
are now.
Yeah.
We've slid
I'm
off
in a
the
genre
rails.
that doesn't exist.
I
yet.
I know exactly what genre Fighting for the Faith is, and I know
Oh my
exactly who I
gosh.
want to play me. It may not necessarily work, but Pirate Christian Radio is definitely a horror comedy, and I want Nicolas Cage to play me.
Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. Oh, I forgot that second part of the question.
Yeah.
Who would play you in a lead role? I'd definitely say Denzel Washington, without a doubt. And I don't know why. It's because it's because it's the first name that popped into my head.
Wow.
And I really
Okay.
like my man Denzel.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Who's Denzel?
That's me.
I'm sorry.
obviously.
Who?
I'm clearly
Nick.
Denzel.
Nick is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already know where Keith is going. I already know
All right.
where. I
And,
already know where.
Morgan Freeman can play Rob.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Without
Why
a
not?
doubt. In a galaxy far, far away,
Absolutely.
he could also play the voice of God.
Rod, Todd, this is God. I'm sorry.
You guys
I just
are out of
quoted.
pocket.
I just quoted The Simpsons. That's terrible.
Mm.
I've been in ministry 18 years and I've just quoted The Simpsons. I'm gonna have to
I agree.
repent.
That is out of control. Hey,
Oh, I see Johnny
Nick,
Depp.
since we did have
What's
a
up?
question earlier about strategies and engagement, do you do anything particular to help build engagement on your channel?
One thing you wish you did differently.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
I-
something that you found that works well. Let's just give you like a 2-for-1.
One thing I wish I did differently, and which I really couldn't help, to be honest with you, is being consistent. In this YouTube world, you gotta post once, twice a week to keep up with the masses, and that's one thing I wish I would have done more often. But you're at the risk when you do that. You're also at the risk of reducing quality, because you're like, what's the best next thing to do? What do I react to next? What do I teach next? And our approach is a little bit different. We kind of just take our time with it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for YouTube. YouTube is rewarding you. The algorithm is rewarding you when you're consistent. So that's our greatest challenge right now, is just studying fast enough to keep up with the masses. And that's kind of why we started talking with other people who come in prepared about a particular topic, because it's just so much easier to do. But yeah, that's the one thing I wish we would have done, and maybe looking, in the future, we're going to do more often, is just posting regularly.
I got you. No, that's
What-
good.
What's your current? What's your current
Schedule.
schedule? I'm sorry. Thank you.
So, like I said before, we're building a studio.
Mhm.
So once we have a studio up and running, we'll be having our regular episodes. Right now, we're in a weird place where we're just trying to fill in the time until we're done. So we just have debates and topics lined up every few weeks, and then we chop them up into videos and shorts.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's our greatest challenge, is posting regularly and often, and not risking the quality.
So even have you tried chopping up your content and post more regularly, but still gives you time to
Oh
do
yeah,
quality?
yeah,
So
for
can
sure.
take some
You
of-
could check the channel. Yeah. We chopped that Michael Brown and Jim Osmond up, man. We chopped it
Yeah.
up to the point where it couldn't be chopped up anymore.
treated like turkey after Thanksgiving. That's how we do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yes.
like it.
Gotta chop
Nick-
up the doctor of obfuscation.
Uh-oh.
Nick, I
Yes.
found your channel when you had John Clash and Sam Storms on, and I want to tell you that don't underestimate how powerful that interview was. That was fantastic. And one thing I'd like to see or even be a part of is Sam Storms stated his willingness to. There was a section on there where we talked about the abuses in the deliverance ministry.
Yeah.
A video to have him come on and discuss that and point that out would be so powerful and unifying.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think I know Sam. I think he'd be willing to do that because he's not with the extremes.
Yeah.
His whole argument on that debate was just, this is a possibility. And that's what people beat him up about the most, is that he's just saying, this is a possibility. This is my possibility. I'm choosing to say it's a possible hermeneutic. He's not really advocating for the extremes, though.
Yeah.
So I think he would do it.
That was obvious. He won me over as a person who can have a conversation and have the humility to, and actually have the influence to call out the excesses, which is very rare.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that needs to exist more in the Christian world, as people need to talk with each other, especially when they have some hermeneutical differences. You got to sit down and hash it out and just go through it respectfully and say, this is why I believe what I believe, and this is why you believe what you believe. Let's talk about it. Let's exposit the scriptures together. And things like that need to happen more often. Honestly, it doesn't happen enough because of YouTube. It doesn't happen because of YouTube, because YouTube rewards people who just talk about people. They don't really reward people that want to talk and have a humble conversation. They want the trigger happy post. So as content creators, we're always challenged to do what works and not necessarily what's needed.
I like that. Okay. Well, we need.
Your Calvinist is muted.
I'm sorry, I muted myself. I'm dumb. No, but I said, did you say content creators or consecrators?
Content creators.
Okay, I swear I heard you say consecrators, and I was like,
Maybe.
that's the most sanctified way of saying a YouTuber I've ever heard. We are consecrators. We are those.
Listen,
we are making
I'm from
YouTube.
Brooklyn.
Boy, Josh is freaking.
I'm from Brooklyn. I probably said consecrators. Who knows?
I will say this. If you ever decide to move to Georgia, I know a studio for you, Nick. It's already ready.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I know a place. I know a place. I know a guy. All right, let's round these bases. Here it comes. Now, here's your very deep question, y'all. Here's your deep question. Reflecting on your content for 23, how has your faith journey been influenced, challenged, and deepened by the topics you've covered? What lessons have you learned about the intersection of faith and content? I'm sorry, I ran off the page when I was cutting and pasting. Sorry about that. All right. Anybody. I will start. I realize how much we don't take the time to think about what we believe. And we just say, hey, I believe something. Well, why do you believe that? Very little work has gone into actually determining, why do I believe this? Why do I believe in XYZ biblical teaching? And actually parse through it, and I can understand it, and so on and so forth. So then what ends up happening, you get challenged by somebody who says something way out of left field about, some, biblical contradictions or this, that, and the other, revisions, whatever, and you're not prepared for those questions, and then it causes problems. So something I learned this year, and I've been focusing on it a lot, is really digging into what is it that you believe? So even as dealing with people who profess to be former Christians, okay, they're ex-Christians. They left the faith. Okay, well, can you tell me how you came to faith in the first place? I really would like to know that, because when you ask that question, you find out very quickly this person wasn't a believer. They might have been raised in a Christian household and went to church every Sunday, but they themselves were not trusting in Christ. So it helps you really understand where they're coming from, and then how are you going to present, or how are you going to answer their questions moving forward? So that's something I learned this year. I've been focusing on this year. Anybody else?
I've had to get better at eschatology this year because I accidentally became the king of the amillennialists by accident.
Hey.
I don't know if anybody knows about that or the jokes behind that or my debate with Doug Wilson and all that happened as a result. That was a complete mistake. It all happened because of a Burger King crown. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I remember that crown.
Yeah, it all happened because of this. And
is that consecrated?
Well, the Burger King part is, yeah,
yeah.
It's yeah. We anyway. So no, but honestly, I have a debate next month on the rapture with Spencer Smith, and so
really,
I've been in ministry for almost 20 years, and even though systematics is one of the fields that I focused on most, I'll take my hat off for saying that, but I never was an eschatology guy. I was more of a anthropology, soteriology. Those are my focuses. Obviously, as a Calvinist, focusing on areas like that. But I got sort of forced into it this year. So it's funny how the internet works. The thing I didn't want to talk about, now I have to talk about all the time.
There we go. I like it. Tim, Nick, Rob, Josh. Josh looks perplexed.
Okay, so I'll echo Keith and say we learned a whole lot about eschatology. We did a full series on the book of Revelation, and we really unwrapped that thing. We had an episode on signs and symbols. We had an episode on numerology. We had an episode on each of the, of the general overview and historical context of the book. And that was the first time I ever did that in my whole life. We read through it or we know of it, but do we actually do a deep dive study? And not to beat a dead horse, but this is really impacting our ministry and impacting me as an individual this year. Never in my life. I am Reformed. We come from the Reformed culture, and I've never seen an issue with this until now. Maybe it's Twitter's fault or maybe it's YouTube's fault. I have no idea. But I really want us as Reformed people to have conversations, to have healthy conversations, and to advocate for expositing the scriptures with someone who opposes our view side by side and presenting those truths to the world. We love to make videos about each other, and that's just something that I kind of fell into accidentally, just responding to what everybody else is doing reaction stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the question was, how has our faith, as an individual has been impacted? For me, I just feel, called to bridge the gap and have the Reformed community look like mature Christians that love to engage in respectful conversations. Not saying that any of you guys are guilty of that, but that's just what I see on Twitter, of course, and on social media as a whole. Is we love to attack, and we don't love to have conversations. So I hope that it increases my walk with God and that it increases my fellowship with Christians.
Excellent.
Guys, I have to roll. I got to help my wife with family worship and getting the kids into bed. So I got to do that. But please take my information down. Any one of you would be welcome to come on. I do interviews on my show. And Jason, you know what? I we've talked for a long time. We've never done a show together. No, we've done your show. But have you been on my show?
No.
See, that's why
I know why I haven't been invited. I know why.
Well,
I'll tell everybody when you leave.
No, tell me now. I want to know. I want to hear if you're right.
Press me.
Oh, well, no. I love my Presbyterian
I'm just
brethren, man.
I was just sick. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I can teach you why baptizing babies isn't right, and then Josh Josh and you could double team, even though you disagree about why you baptize babies. But we can talk about
that's okay.
That.
And I can teach you how to tie a bow tie. I can teach you how to tie a bow tie.
And then you can do exactly what I'm talking about. Have fun conversations, right?
Wait a minute. Am I the only Baptist here?
I'm a Baptist.
You're a Baptist.
Tim? I'm a Baptist.
Tim.
I'm definitely
okay.
Baptist.
So it's 3. Rob, what are you? Are you?
I was a Baptist.
He's adopted Presbyterian.
He's
adopted Presbyterian.
I've been a lot of things.
And
Well, gentlemen-
Joshua, you're
right.
Lutheran, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a staunch Lutheran. Yeah, the kind of Lutheran.
Oh,
The,
no, sorry.
oh,
No, no,
really?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
If you want to throw down the gauntlet, we can
Friday
go.
night fights up in here.
All right. God
Get
bless.
out of here, Keith.
See you guys.
See you, Keith.
Tell your family, hey. I don't even know where we were. Oh, we were reflecting.
Well, we were-
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're off the rails.
I actually want to echo what was just said too
But Nick,
about the conversations, because that's really my answer about what has been meaningful to me on my channel this year spiritually. It's not the topics as much as it's been the people. It's been the people I've been able to talk to. And yes, the topics were what kind of spurred on some of those conversations. I even covered the topic of cessationism versus continuationism because of that cessationist documentary that came out, and had conversations with different people on my channel about that issue, and it was really good conversation. And I'm definitely more on I guess you could say more of that cessationist side of things, but I still feel like there are things I can contribute to the conversation and I can learn from. And you find out too that sometimes these terms we use for each other, that's a good example. We kind of put each other in boxes, and sometimes there's some overlap and we don't even understand maybe like that. Maybe we agree more than we seem to on the surface. There might be actually more agreement once we have conversations about things. So, I mean, that's just one example, but I've had the chance to talk to different people, authors, and talk about topics that I think have just been really enriching to me. So I think it really comes down to people.
I like it. No, I agree with you 100%. Now, I don't think I was on your show this year, Tim, so I actually feel like you're fronting me off saying.
No, you were on my 20,000 subscriber marathon show.
Right. You're right. Okay. Woo. I was like, man, he's saying his show was great because of the people on it. I'm like, well, wait, I wasn't on his show.
And you were one of them.
Okay, well, there we go. Never mind. I was offended, but now I'm no longer offended. There we go.
So I'll say this to this particular question. I love the thought of being able to talk to people more often that we disagree with across the aisle. Yes, that is good. That is right. That is meet, right, and salutary. I'm gonna, and with that also being said, I would caution people not to fall into the opposite ditch. Like one ditch being like I don't talk to anybody. The other ditch is
talk to everybody.
Talk to everybody because there are some people that are not worth talking to. I don't normally talk about this, but I've had some pretty interesting run-ins with actual National Socialist sympathizers who are part of the Lutheran Church. Yes, we're talking people who are like rah-rah, re-enslave people, rah-rah, like we're talking like the fringiest fringe of Christian nationalism. And not people you generally want to have a face-to-face conversation with or allow them to spew their garbage. It's like, no, we'll debunk you. No, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to talk to you.
Facts.
Especially when they go out of their way to attack me and my father personally and try to drudge up all sorts of garbage. It's like, no thanks. I'm good. I can keep you at an arm's length with a cattle prod.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Definitely want to have conversation with those that are reasonable, those that are to some degree. Again, and I joke about it all the time, but I said I got zero issue with my Reformed Baptist brothers and sisters. I got zero issue with my Lutheran brothers and sisters because I know if the rubber meets the road, I'm going to need them far more than I'm going to need them to be adversaries. So I would much rather have Joshua and his thumbnail terrorism or whatever. I would much rather have him in my corner and answering my phone calls and whatnot. And when I send a bat signal, he comes on the show like that. I would much rather that than us arguing and fighting about something that we don't need to argue and fight about, because I need them in my corner far more than I don't. Now, Nick, on the other hand, because he lives up in New York, and y'all know how I feel about New York. So we're gonna pray for him too.
If you live in New York, you need prayers. That's a blanket statement.
No question there. All the
I
prayers.
can't argue with that.
Everybody, wait, I'm the only Southerner here now. Look at it. Yeah, I'm the only Southerner here. See?
I grew up in Southern California, but I wouldn't really consider that,
Is that America?
Is that America? That is a very good question. I don't have a legitimate answer.
Sorry to all my Californians. Please buy me a coffee.
Abandon the state. It's a hopeless state. You're not allowed to own guns or even be able to have good taxation.
Or straws.
Or straws.
Oh my gosh. Oh my! Where did we go? We went somewhere. Oh, we were in New Jersey. And they're using the paper straw thing. Ugh. And oh my gosh, because one of my kids is like
You said you were in New Jersey?
Yeah, for Thanksgiving.
Hey, you didn't come and visit? That's where I live, bro.
Bro, it was not happening, man. I should have, but it just wasn't gonna happen.
There's a recent study that's showing that paper straws have some sort of chemical in them that may or may not cause cancer or something.
It's crazy. Like, man, y'all done cut your nose and spite your face. Like, it makes no sense. Because I have one of my kids is she nurses whatever drink she has, so she's gonna take forever to drink it. That straw, you have to drink that drink. I don't know how many ounces it is. You have exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds to consume it before that straw deteriorates into the cup. She's never going to be able to do it. It's always going to happen.
Because I always love my beverages to have texture.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
fiber, lots of fiber in them.
Order an iced tea, but hold the pulp.
Right.
Hold the pulp on tea. I'm sorry, this is loose leaf tea. I just dump it right into the cup and drink it straight like a man.
So we actually wait. Somebody just said that. So we actually do. We have my wife bought like reusable straws. So we actually have like a huge container of reusable straws, and you wash them the whole gambit, because like Taylor would just she just doesn't drink fast enough. And well, thankfully here in Georgia, we still, because in New Jersey, you don't have grocery bags.
Nope.
Like right there, it's craziness. I'm gonna start sending grocery bags up there like a drug dealer. Hey, yo, got some Publix bags. I got them Kroger bags. What you need? Want the Walmarts?
It's wild.
Hey, I got the big Target bags. What's up, my guy?
I will tell you this though. I hate it.
You can't make it make sense. You can't fix it. You can't fix it.
But I will tell you this. I don't mind always having bags. I don't mind that.
Okay.
So now I always have bags in the car. So there was a benefit to it. But in the beginning, man, was that annoying. 90% of the time I would forget the bags in the car when I went to the supermarket. So I was bagging stuff in my car.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
But Black Dynamite, I give plastic bags to the community.
Right. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. So my college sister lives in New Jersey, and so all my in-laws live in New Jersey. So we went to visit DJ and her family, and me and her husband went somewhere, and we walked down to the garage, and there was this gigantic garbage bag. And I was like, that's not trash. What is that? And they were reusable bags. And he said, bro, your sister, man, every time she goes to the grocery store, she just buys more. He said, watch this. And we went to her car, and there was another easily 100 bags in the trunk. He's like, and I guarantee you, she went and bought some today. When she went to the grocery store, because she'll forget that she even has bags in the trunk. She just doesn't even get them. She'll just buy them at ShopRite, or I'm sorry. It was called, is it ShopRite or Save Right? One of the little grocery stores.
ShopRite.
Bruh, we laughed so hard. It was hilarious. So I came into her house carrying it, talking about some Merry Christmas, doling out shopping bags to everybody in the house. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, lots of comedy there.
I'm with you.
Now, the thing I think is also like really super disingenuous is the grocery store that we went to, ShopRite. Dude, they had a killer hot bar. Like, it was, That hot bar was out of this world. I mean, just about anything you can
Oh, yeah.
imagine. But the only you would get your dish, and what would you put it in? Plastic. They didn't even go as far to get like the
paper containers.
The
Yeah.
paper containers. I'm like, that's a moot point. Like the grocery bag would have been better than me being able to have access to 9 plastic containers. You didn't fix the problem. You did nothing.
Yeah, but the supermarkets don't care. It's the governor that laid down the law and made plastic bags illegal, as if plastic didn't exist everywhere else.
That's my point. Like that's the part. Like it was silly. So anyway, hopefully I can have her on. We can talk about that because we laughed about it yesterday when I talked to her. Like, man, y'all are great. I'm gonna start sending these bags up there to y'all, like a little contraband or something. I don't know. It's wild. Do y'all is that same in Massachusetts or Connecticut, Tim?
I'm in New Hampshire.
There too. I don't know. Somewhere up there. It's above the Mason-Dixie line. I don't even know what's going on.
I got to give you a map and help.
I don't want to know where it is, man.
It's New England. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, New Hampshire is a lot more hands-off about things than a lot of other states in the Northeast. And so, like, yeah, our Walmart still has plastic bags, and there's our motto is actually live free or die. So historically, New Hampshire has always been a politically very libertarian kind of place.
Amen.
So it's not live free paper or plastic.
I don't know, but I know, like, for example, the gun laws here are really
very southern,
non-restrictive. Like you have like an open carry or a constitutional carry right here.
Sure.
Yeah.
When I was in the Navy, I went up to New Hampshire. I went to a gun range. It was indoor place, and was able to shoot fully automatic MP5 and an Uzi. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Rob, you're in Illinois, outside Chicago, right?
Yeah, I'm way outside of Chicago by about 200 miles. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, where? Where are you?
Peoria.
Man, I made up something, man. I had you in Cabrini Green, man. I had you
political corruption.
Man.
That's what Illinois is known for.
Dude, I watched I watched something yesterday about that. That's crazy.
It's called
the channel.
Sorry.
You watch the channel called Nate the Lawyer?
I watched Nate. I watched Nate yesterday.
Yeah.
Nate is fantastic.
I was going to review that video. I mean, it's. I was like, oh my gosh, that's us.
Yeah.
The Windy City is called the Windy City, not because of wind, but because of how quickly politicians blow through.
Oh, that's a good point. Alton, Illinois, hometown. Okay. Gentlemen.
Alton, Illinois, right across the river from
St.
St. Louis.
Okay.
From St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank y'all, man. This was a lot of fun. I didn't have any real goals or aspirations. I just want to have a good time, having fun. Why are y'all distancing yourself from Illinois, Jason? I don't know anything about Illinois. I'm a Southerner. I was born in the South. I was born here.
Why are you holding up for Illinois, Q?
I thought there was some Chicago in your history, Jason.
No, sir. I was born right here. I've never gone north of outside of the perimeter. This is my first time even living outside the perimeter ever.
Really?
In my whole life. Yep. That's
of
the story
where?
I'm telling. Right here. I was born right here in Atlanta.
That's
at
right.
Grady
I
Hospital.
forgot.
And right here at Grady Hospital. I am Georgian.
Come visit the Pirates up in North Dakota. You know, if you want.
I've never been above the Mason-Dixie line ever in my life.
We're not even the good Dakota.
Not the good Dakota.
No.
Rob, let me stop being disingenuous. I'm originally from Aurora, Illinois.
I remember that once they started. I finally came to my memory. But Josh, you were in the Navy. What did you do in the Navy?
I was That's everywhere I go. That's a given. Like, no, I was a radioman on the USS Henry M. Jackson, the boomer submarine.
All right, I was an engineer. I was an EN.
Nice.
on fast frigate, and on my last ship was a landing ship dock.
Okay.
It used to, well, it was new. Both of those were new construction.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got to answer the movie trivia thing because I was going to say Rambo First Blood Part 1, Rocky 3, and the Expendables. Okay. Because sometimes I have that little bit of a, like in the military, you learn to go through difficult times by being humorous and sarcasm, that cutting sarcastic wit. And I tend to use that, try to be funny, as well.
Good.
So,
Well, if you haven't watched Pirate, you might like an episode of Prophecy Bingo, because that entire episode is nothing but that.
oh yeah, I mean,
utter chicanery.
I'm shocked because when I first got on YouTube, your channel and Stephen Kozar, and I'm like on a YouTube live with Stephen Kozar and Chris Roseboro's son. I say it all the time on the channel. I don't steal your mantra, but I say, let's hear what they're saying in the name of God. Okay, turn over here. Let's compare it to the Word of God. It's real simple. Discernment is simple.
Yep, absolutely.
What are they saying, and what does the Word say?
It's not heresy hunting; it's heresy comparison.
There you go. Well, keep in mind, Rob, after you've said it one time, you can now say, "As I always say," because I like to tell people, "Hey, what are the 3 rules for sound biblical exegesis? Is context, context, and context." As I always say. Now, for the first year, I probably gave a lot of credit to Fighting for the Faith. Now, whatever. I'm not gonna give you. Not give you anything.
You can't beat the 3 rules, man. They are just solid. You can't beat
solid
those.
As a rock. I love it. Wait. So now it's all military people commenting. And
Susie's like, she's like assistant channel manager on my channel. Like I'll mention a channel and she drops the channel down in the
she's
comments.
dropping them like hotcakes. Yes.
Yeah, she'll drop links to books that we talk about on the channel, and I'm like,
she's amazing.
Nice.
No,
all right, Susie, a radio operator in the Marine Corps. Nice. Very nice.
No, she's busy. She's too busy.
She's too busy. She got too much going on.
You have an incredible mod team, man. Incredible mod team. You really do.
We are trying, man. We are trying our best.
Yeah,
there's some good people though. They're good folk.
I'll say a joke for Susie, because the saying is that the Marine Corps is a department of the Navy.
Yeah,
it's the men's department.
Oh no,
that's self-deprecating. Woo.
Yeah, that is a deprecation on the Navy. Saying the Marine Corps is the men's department.
Yes.
Oh.
No, that's not on Susie. I'm saying it.
No, I know.
When I was in the Navy, they told me I should have been Marine Corps. Because I didn't play all that loose with your uniform. You had to have military creases. You better shine your shoes. And I was an engineer. I was an engineer, that what they call snipe. That means you work down in the belly of the ship. You get dirty. You're in that's okay. But I would still make those guys. I don't care what you look like after morning muster. But at morning muster, you better look high and tight, buddy. Like you shouldn't be in the Navy. You should be in the Marine Corps. Okay, well, we're gonna make it like the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now there's a military joke showing up. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble here. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. The best Marine jokes involve crayons. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can if you meet a Marine, always ask them what their favorite flavor of crayon is.
Oh,
I'm not gonna go there. Susie Q, I'm not part of this, sis. I repent. This is all part of a strategy, Machiavellian strategy. Get her to work on their channel.
Yeah, there we go. Susie knows what's up. Blue's is her favorite. That's awesome.
You guys are out of pocket. I love it. I was gonna say, since everybody's talking about military stuff, I was gonna say, hey, one time I got that special GI Joe boat, the Tiger Shark, because I had all those you used to clip those little codes off the back of the packages when you bought GI Joes, and you can send them in and get a special boat. I got the Tiger Shark, so there I'm kind of cool like y'all, but probably didn't land like I wanted it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out of the. I'm gonna editor Jason, get that joke out of there. That one did not work. Editor Jason is my friend. I'm telling you, I love that guy.
Reminds me of my one of my favorite Coast Guard jokes. Is that the Coast Guard has a height requirement. You have to be at least 6 feet tall, so that if your boat sinks, you can walk back to land. No, Kozar's back.
Koz is in the building. He's back. He's back.
Anyway, guys, I do have to run. I got kids I got to put to sleep.
Yep.
I didn't want to miss the opportunity to hop on and fellowship and, of course, support Dear Well Christian, one of the best channels on YouTube. So, and a great friend too. So, I want to do my part to support him.
Well, I thank you so much, man. Looking forward to doing some new things with you in 24, man. Lord willing, it's gonna be fun.
Let's do it. My info is in our chat. If any of you guys want to do something, hit me up too.
I just subscribed to your channel, Nick.
Sounds good. I'll subscribe. I think I'm actually subscribed to you already. Most of these channels I heard of.
The Messed Up Church. Check them out.
Yeah.
I'm going to screenshot that, Nick, because, yeah,
that's good. And I'll make sure, and I'll screenshot it, and I'll send it out in the email as well. Just make sure everybody, so we can connect, because I think it would be fun to see some of these collaborations.
For sure.
Caldwell bless, and Messed Up Church. That'd be great. Hey, be good, Nick. Take care, man. Grace and peace, friend. All right. But, all right. So, and now there were 5.
I was I'm painting our upstairs bathroom. I have to redo a bunch of stuff. So you guys are busy talking about a bunch of worthless nothingness. So I thought I'll just listen while I go do something useful. And so now I'm back for the.
But Kozar, is it a hyper realistic painting in the bathroom?
Right. If it's not
we got broad brushstrokes. Okay, we got it.
No, Kozar is a fantastic artist. So, yeah, if you're not painting like that, then we don't want to. You're just painting walls. Man, get out of here.
Just painting walls.
Landscapes and stuff like that. We need shenanigans. But well, guys, thank y'all so much, man. This was a lot of fun. I just wanted to again end the year highlighting some of the great content creators that I've engaged with, whether I've done projects with you, talked to you online, offline, through Discord or whatever. Like, what in the world?
It's the 4th day of Christmas. We're still celebrating.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, like, does anybody got snow where they are?
Ice. We have so much ice.
We have just a dusting. It just snowed a little bit today, and it's really nice. My granddaughter is visiting from Florida. She comes here 2 or 3 times a year. She was really hoping for snow, and we've had unusually warm weather. And I told her yesterday, "I'm really sorry, honey, but there's no snow in the forecast for the next 10 days that you're here."
Oh, wow.
And we woke up this morning, and it was snowing, and we got a nice little covering.
Oh, well, there you go. Good job, Granddad. Good job. I like it. No, I would put my hat on, but my wife has come home, and she immediately, when she walked in the house, she turned the heat on. It is like blazing in this office now. So if I put my hat on, if I put my Santa hat on, I would probably melt or spontaneously combust. So, like, dang, babe, did you really have to turn it? It's hot. That's my girl, though. I love her. But I remember the first year I met Tim.
What now?
I was going to say, I think that first year I met Tim, you had like that horrible snowstorm. And I mean, like, it was like something crazy. I remember you sending me pictures of like your car. He's like, "Hey, yeah, there's a car over there. There's a van over there." Under that
we actually had 43 inches of snow in that one storm.
No,
wow.
Sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
It was a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a dump.
Now we're here in Georgia, so if I spill my glass of sweet tea outside, we're going to shut down the city for an hour. But I would rather that than you said 43 inches of snow. No, sir. No,
wow.
Sir.
I have Grand Forks, North Dakota in my weather app, so that when the weather's really bad here, I can always make myself feel better by just seeing how the Roseburrows are doing.
We live in American Siberia. This is my sojourn. I have been, kicked out of the land of Canaan, and I'm, exiled to here.
Man, that's crazy. Well, guys, I want y'all to thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for whether we've done projects or not, whether we've talked or not. I really do appreciate you all and everybody that stopped by. This was a lot of fun. So hopefully, Lord willing, we're going in 24. We can do some more cool things like this, and we'll see you guys again at the end of the year. Talk about maybe I have some better questions.
So, all right then.
This was good.
But yeah, everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Please make sure you check out the Love Agenda and the Frisch Perspective, the Messed Up Church and Fighting for the Faith, as well as Bible Dingers and Caldwell Apologetics. The moderators have done a fantastic job of putting all the links in the chat. So go check them out. See what they're doing, what Kevin Briggins is doing. Just check them out. See what they're doing. I believe they're going to earn your subscription. So check out the channels. But everybody, thank you so much. And until next time, everyone, I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace and Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.